There's this hidden essence within life that is like an atmosphere of beauty that usually gets captured by artists or poets or those with a keen eye. And it's basically seeing the perspective of beauty in itself, because if you give one flower to 100 people, each person might see something else in that flower. It's realizing beauty isn't just one perspective. Beauty is perspective itself. And life isn't just life for some. Life is meant to be lived by everyone. We aren't just experiencing life, we are life in itself. And we tend to forget that there's always something epic happening somewhere. And why can't it be here? Why can't it be now? We all should have that keen eye, and we should all be able to tap into that hidden atmosphere of beauty that reminds us of the beauty in the mundane of the everyday life, of the things that seem simple but they're so profound, like the meaning within the meaninglessness. There's always more than meets the eye if you just maybe train your eyes to see it. And I want us to be reminded of that and to realize that there's always so much more. Like it will never be enough. It will never be a point where you can say that you've now learned it all, you've experienced it all, or that you've had enough of what life has to give, because life always has more to give to those that keep asking for more. And I want us just to be reminded in this new year that even though there's a pandemic and last year was hard, this whole year is infinite potential that hasn't been manifested yet. And that's all up to us and up to you and up to me to really make the best of it. And that does sound like a cliche, but we tend to realize that we get back to spots that seem familiar, but every time that we get to that event or that spot that we feel like we've been there before, we see it with brand new perspective, and the growth that we've picked up since the last time that we've been in that situation or that familiar spot. And this year's going to be full of those, that we get to things that we might have already experienced or that we had to go through, but this time you're going to go through it with better perspective, and you're going to go through it with the growth that you've picked up from the last time. And I really, really want us to have a more positive outlook for this year in general, and just be reminded how this all connected us even more, or it reminded us how connected we are to each other. We tend to look at our differences instead of our similarities, and I think with the pandemic we were reminded how similar we are and how we all face the same struggles, and that our similarities overpower our differences on all counts. And I hope that that will be a perspective and a lesson that we take into this new year for everybody, and I think a lot of good can come out of it. So have a good year.